Hello and welcome to this week's The Story of a Poor Boy. I'm Mikey.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jamie.
Yep.
Jamie's here.
There are three of us this week. Basically, last year, if you cast your mind back all the way to May last year, when Liverpool
if we have anyone
played,
who listened to last year's Champions League podcast and this year's, well done.
Yeah, you win a prize. So Jamie was involved last year and she wanted to do this one as well, so why not, eh? Because fuck it. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to have a chat for probably about half an hour about football in general, and maybe we'll talk about the biggest game of the season at this Saturday.
Pretty good game. It's a pretty good game. Pretty big.
So, of course, before we talk about that massive game, we should probably talk about the massive game that is tomorrow night in Chelsea and Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not joking. We all agreed we want Arsenal to win that game.
Do we? Do we want another English team to win?
I don't.
What do you mean? Do we want another English team to stab at Chelsea or Arsenal?
Ideal world. There's a mass brawl. Both teams get 5 players sent off. They both lose the game 3-0 and it's called off. And one of the other semi-finalists wins.
Okay, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm with that. The match getting called off. Like all the Arsenal fans wear Mkhitaryan shirts, and there's just like something happens. And
while we are vaguely talking about this game, that is a fucking joke. That is an absolute joke. That Mkhitaryan, a player can't go to the country that is hosting the final of this competition. There are fans who can't get visas because of conflict.
Yeah,
this is such a stupid oversight by UEFA, and it's just money talking.
It's almost like UEFA looked at it and went, Arsenal won't get to the final.
Do you know they apparently looked at Baku a couple of years ago, and the report ruled that it was completely inadequate for hosting a final.
I mean, well, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest, to be honest.
They said it was adequate to host the Champions League final, though, in their report for this year. They said it was good enough to host Europa League or Champions League.
I wonder if they only look at the stadium. They must only look at the stadium itself, because the stadium itself is a 68,000-seater stadium.
Yeah, but their excuse for not giving more than 6,000 tickets to each team was because of the airports. So they must look at the airports.
Yeah, I suppose.
Same with Madrid, to be fair.
No, I think that they'll be like...
What do you mean when we initially allocate
it?
Yeah,
when they're initially allocating it, I reckon they turn around.
Whoever was in charge of that needs to be fucking sacked.
Yeah, well, UEFA in general, they need to be binned off completely. That's why. I don't agree with the idea of the Super League as it was. All the big teams breaking off. Yeah. No, not the relegation thing. That's UEFA's idea, as in the idea of all the big teams breaking off. So all the successful teams, the Liverpools, the Uniteds, the Barcelonas, Real Madrids, separating and making their own Champions League. Yeah. Right, I don't agree with that idea, but the one thing you can fucking guarantee is there'd be no finals in Azerbaijan. There'd be no finals in fucking Kiev. There'd be no finals in Turkey.
No,
do you know what I mean?
There'll be finals in America.
There'll
be finals in China.
Hey, you can get to America.
It's still not cheap. It's still not good for the fans.
No.
None of these organisations have the fans in mind. UEFA, your Man Cities, your Man Uniteds, even your Liverpools of the world.
Well, you've only got to look at what Peter Moore said about the ticket prices when he was asked about it on Sky Sports News, and he was like, I mean,
in America, it's
in America, where I live, it's part of the culture there. You just kind of expect to pay that kind of price. I mean, they're a lot more expensive for the Super Bowl, and it's like, well, that is a fundamental flaw in your argument. You're basing it on America, where everything fucking costs too much money.
Yeah, it costs you like $15 for like a piece of bread and a drink, like a mortgage. Like, it's mad.
No, £15 for a mortgage, I'll take that.
No,
15 quid for a mortgage.
mortgage for a drink, $15 for a piece of bread to put your hot dog
You
in.
haven't got to look at the fucking theme park tickets for Orlando and stuff like that to realise how much of a rip-off America is, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking like $500 for one person.
I'm not even well off enough to even look at things like that, because like, there's no way in hell in the next 10 years I'm going to be able to do anything like
Well,
that.
neither am I now, because Liverpool keep doing really well and it's costing me a fucking fortune.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, going back to it, I guess I want Arsenal to win tomorrow purely because I hate Chelsea. I think it's really funny that they could lose that game tomorrow and they can't get rid of their manager because nobody else wants that fucking job. Cause
that is true, but have you seen the
rumours
rumours about Juventus with
What?
Sarri?
Well, I mean,
They
if
want
he,
him to
if
win, yeah.
that'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
If they lost the
You
final
remember
and
our
they went,
conversation last week, how Sarri doesn't make it till Christmas for me?
yeah, all
And
right.
you're saying, no.
Hold on here, right? My argument still stands up in that if Chelsea have a say in it, he will not be gone because they can't afford to get rid of him. They can't. They won't be able to get anybody in.
There's talks
argument.
There's talks of them sacking him if he doesn't win the Europa League. This tomorrow.
They can't do that. They've just had to.
No,
renew.
they can't because
Don't they?
it's
Aren't they?
ridiculous. But they're stupid, so they might.
Aren't they looking at Frank Lampard since he's not going into the
Frank-
Premier League?
Please.
Frank Lampard moving to Derby would be career suicide for
You mean
Frank.
Chelsea?
To Chelsea, sorry, would be career suicide. He's got a good thing going at Derby, and if he just jumps ship, it'd be like if Gerrard had walked in when Brendan Rodgers had got sacked. It'd be that kind of level of fucking you're not ready for this yet. Frank Lampard needs to just carry on at Derby, carry on building the project he's got going at Derby. He doesn't need anything to do with Chelsea at the moment. And it would be interesting to see how they treat a club legend, like, because I mean they already binned off Di Matteo, who was a cult hero, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the Lucas Leiva for them. Well, he was bigger than that. He won them an FA Cup, but. And a Champions League as manager.
I was going to say.
Sorry, he won them an FA Cup as a player.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I want Arsenal to win it purely because I think it could be hilarious to watch Chelsea.
Yeah, that's fair. If I had to pick one, I know I went on a big impassioned rant about Arsenal should never win a European trophy because they're not a European club. But Chelsea are even less. I know they've won a couple, but they're a disgusting club and I hate them.
The only thing,
so yeah, Arsenal.
the only thing that could ruin it for me, genuinely, is I could just see it being one of those things where Arsenal win the Europa League and then Tottenham go, gotta win on Saturday now.
As if they don't
And then
think
they
they've
have to
got to
face
win
it.
already.
Isn't it mad how Tottenham this weekend, if they win the Champions League, not that they're going to, but if they win the Champions League, automatically become a bigger club than Arsenal and Man City overnight? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy? That they and also
I kind of want them to win now.
it's mad, isn't it? You can throw Everton in there as well, and historically Everton are a bigger club than
I'll
Tottenham.
have you know, they had the best team in Europe in like
1980s.
sometime, yeah.
Yeah, let's not bring that up. So I guess we should probably talk about Saturday now then. What are your plans for watching it, guys?
Fuck you.
Right.
Well, I've got some guys coming up from home. My brother's bringing a couple of his mates as well. We're gonna get drunk and watch it in a bar downtown.
Makes sense.
And then when we win, there's going to be a bottle of champagne ordered to the table. Going to down that, and then we're going to go out. It's gonna
Pop
be great.
World.
Pop
There will
World,
be a
Crazy
deal.
House,
There will be, yeah.
yeah, Hebe's, Concert Square, all that shit.
Sounds fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got flags wrapped round you. I, myself, will be in Alicante from Thursday to Saturday morning, and then we're driving across to Madrid. We're going to the match, and then back to
Really? You
Alicante.
going to the
heard
match?
that. I hadn't
Didn't
actually-
know.
And then we're driving back to Alicante Sunday, Monday, so I'm either going to be lounging around in a pool for 2 days to come to terms with watching Liverpool win the Champions League and get hold of it, or I'm going to be drowning myself in a pool.
You're going to be in a pool.
One of
be in
the
a
two.
That's fair.
Either way, it ends with me in a pool.
Might end with me in the Mersey. To be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way, I think.
I really wanted Az to come up with my guy's from home. He's the one Spurs supporting friend, and he said that regardless of the result, he's terrified he's going to get murdered. So he's not coming to Liverpool. Which is fair enough, because if we win, I'm throwing him in the Mersey. If we lose, I'm throwing him in the Mersey.
There aren't going to be many Scousers left on Liverpool by the sound of things. I know so many people who are going over just because.
I think Liverpool's going to be populated by people not from Liverpool that just want to come to the city to be as close to it as they possibly can.
Hopefully for Sunday.
Do you know it's the River Festival this Saturday as well?
Yeah, this is such poor timing from the council. They do this every fucking time, don't they?
Yeah.
Does that continue to Sunday as well?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's all weekend.
I'm going to see a talk from the first British astronaut at 6:30 on Sunday. So as soon as the parade's over, I'm running to the cathedral to die from my hangover in the cathedral while pretending to listen to this woman.
That is genuinely the worst thing about going to the game. All jokes aside, is that I'm going to miss the fucking parade.
You are going to miss the parade. I'll send you some pictures.
It's an absolute twat at that, honest to God.
I'm just debating whether to go into town and be among the masses and, like the typical photos that you see, and all over the media, or to knock on my neighbour's door, ask for a ladder and just perch on the wall for when they drive past.
They're coming down.
Oh, sound.
Yeah,
okay.
So it'll just be me by myself, just waving and be like, "Hi guys."
Yeah.
Alison, my fiance's gone.
So
he won't fucking need to.
Get around. I'll be with you. Do you like men? You want some fuck?
You sucking dick?
Stop saving chat.
Oh, fucking hell.
I was considering this because I went down to town for the Giants earlier in the year, and it was fucking ridiculous. You needed to get there early and find your spot and stay there. And we unfortunately didn't. We kind of followed the Giants as they were going. But it's going to be just 10 times worse for the parade. So I don't really know.
After Potwell at 5:00, maybe we'll just go to town.
They are expecting.
They will get toast.
Apparently, the authorities are expecting 1 million people visiting Liverpool for one reason or another this week. Genuinely, for one reason or another, for whether it be the River Festival or not, they are expecting 1 million people in town.
All the Evertonians are going to go to Manchester, so at least it's not going to be that.
There is a good point in that, and half of them will be down celebrating Tottenham's success if they can get there. If Tottenham can do it, even.
Nah.
But well,
I've got Evertonians in work saying that weekend they're going to Manchester because they just want to be somewhere that hates Liverpool.
That's fine. I don't fucking care. Got me flags up. There's
a pop-up shop round the corner from Kerry's selling loads of Liverpool flags and stuff. I need to get some. But I never have cash on me. I don't take it off. I need to withdraw some cash, and then on my way home I need to buy a couple of flags.
Nah, go to a proper one. Go to one that's there for all year round.
We got the one outside of Mackey's on Lodge.
Oh shit! Yeah,
those ones.
The
ones that are always there.
Go to one of them because at the end of the day they're selling Liverpool shit all year round. Whereas they're not just trying to make a couple of quid just because Liverpool
with the never give up shit.
I mean, I do kind of want one of those. They're boss. I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
They're really good.
I'm sure there's a copyright infringement in there somewhere.
I mean, you can't copyright the words "never give up."
You can copyright the design that says "never give up." Though.
I mean, it's just a standard font.
I don't
know. I'm not an expert at copyright law.
Ever since Gareth Bale tried to copyright his fucking heart gesture with his fingers, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. So it is Liverpool versus Tottenham in the Champions League final this week.
That's a nice thing to say. Say it again.
Yeah, it's Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur in the Champions League final this week. So
who's favourites?
Liverpool, quite clear favourites at the moment.
Who's in the home changing room?
Liverpool are in the home changing room.
Who plays in red?
Liverpool playing red.
Yeah,
that stat means nothing. No, because Liverpool. I
know.
This will be Liverpool's 9th European final. Is it 9th European Cup final? Yeah, because we lost 85, 2007, and 2018. Yep. So this is our 9th European Cup final.
Yep.
Liverpool have wore red in every single European Cup final.
Every European Cup we've won it in red.
Do you know what? Fucking fair fuck. Do you know what I mean? Can't argue with facts, can you?
Look, it's a larger data pool than the ones we've lost wearing red.
It's just the whole.
Is it not?
every single person comes out and says it, like, oh yeah, every time we've won the final, we've played in red, and the team we've played against have played in white. Every single final Liverpool have played in, they played in red against a team in white.
That is kind of weird, though, isn't it?
Juventus played in white and black, admittedly, but Tottenham will be playing in white and blue. So it's just...
it is a bit weird, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's a bit spooky.
Yeah, I mean, it means fuck all.
So we'll be getting in the final next season. Who else plays in white? Ajax?
Oh, I would have loved Ajax.
I'd have loved Ajax.
Like, I mean, we both openly said we preferred Tottenham, but I would have loved Ajax.
Yeah, devil, you know. But like, for the romanticism.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, I'm just checking the Champions League. So Liverpool are 1.5 to win the Champions League this weekend. So if you put tenner on, you win 15 quid, or 5 quid. I mean, that's ridiculous. Can we all just be honest here and just say at the start of the season this wasn't on the cards? Like, I mean, we may well have said Liverpool have a good run in Europe, but Liverpool having a record points haul and also being favourite to win the Champions League final.
Yeah, I think it was one or the other, really. Wasn't
it was a dream.
It was, we could get to the Champions League final again because we're good enough to do it, or we can really go for the league. Yeah. And we've done both.
Yeah, because
that is fucking incredible.
Because fuck it.
Yeah, because fuck it. Klopp was saying in his pre-Champions League final press conference today that every now and again he just needs to take a step back and just think, I've got a really, really strong team here. Mm-hmm. He says it's the strongest team he's ever had. And Riley's running away with my shoe.
No, it's my shoe. Don't
worry. Oh, okay, good.
You're supposed to leave it in the garden with us.
No, I kind of echo what Jurgen Klopp has to say on that, to be honest, because never in my life did I think I'd see Liverpool this strong.
Yeah.
This is what it must have been like to support Liverpool in the 80s, only there were trophies alongside it. Do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, on Saturday, I mean, we are, as we have just covered, we are odds-on favourites to win the Champions League. I mean, if Liverpool come home with that trophy, no one will be surprised. I mean, there's arguments for and against, it's Liverpool's name's written on it. There's arguments for and against, Tottenham's name's written on it. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at the near misses both teams have had this season. It's what we were saying about the league as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like Liverpool had all these moments where you're like, it all adds up, and then you start thinking about City with the Burnley goal and the John Stones clearance off the line against us and the Company thunder bastard into the top corner. And all of a sudden it starts stacking up, and you can do that with us as well in this. So you look at Napoli, exactly. The Napoli save, the PSG last minute goal. I was going to say, you're looking at obviously Barcelona. You're looking at Ousmane Dembele's missing the last minute, and little things like that all stack up, and you're like, yeah, we're on here. And then you look what Tottenham did. Do you know what I mean?
They got
Tottenham
1-1 draw at Nou Camp, didn't
they? But they shouldn't have gone through that group.
No,
and it was.
No, they looked dead and buried in the group. We looked. Yeah, not in a great position in the group, but managed to come through. But Spurs came back from the absolute dead. I think in the knockouts, they beat Dortmund over 2 legs, but I don't think they beat anyone over 2 legs post that, did they? They went through on away goals. In the quarters, in the semis.
Yeah, so they go through on away goals against City and Ajax.
Yeah, they got beaten both.
That is by the skinniest of the skin in your teeth.
Yeah, exactly, and it is...
That is by the hairs on your balls going through.
It's not only that, though, as well. It's the last group game. Inter Milan have a chance in the last second of the game, and it's Mauro Icardi running through, who, one of the most clinical strikers in Italian football. And out of nowhere, PSV defender, PSV, bottom of the group, out of it already.
Yep.
Comes in from nowhere and fucking pulls off this inch-perfect tackle. You've got Jan Vertonghen pulling that one off against Marco Reus at the... I can never pronounce it. The Signa Iduna, that we'll call it that still.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got the Raheem Sterling disallowed goal in the last minute. You've got
the handball,
the Lucas Moura hat-trick, and all of a sudden...
It just seems written in the stars for both of us. Again.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, at this point now, you couldn't begrudge either team winning the trophy. Both teams, after what happened in the semi, even if you just take the semis in isolation, both teams deserve to win this trophy, but only one can.
Yeah.
And only one ever has out of the two of them. Only one team has the experience of a Champions League final already. Only one team, has a fan base like ours, I guess. Just
and knows it and embraces it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think there's no illusion for us how special this is, but it's special because it's Europe. That's why it's special for us. It's because it's Europe. Whereas
100%.
For Tottenham, it's special because it's a one-off and it's never happened to them before.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of Watford getting to the FA Cup final against City, and hopefully we get the same.
It won't happen again. It feels like it was kind of a perfect storm for them. They played Dortmund at the exact right time.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
they got very lucky against City. They seemed to play Ajax at the right time.
Yeah. Matt, move your mic over a little bit just because the wire keeps catching it.
Sorry.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you mean with that. You do have to catch a bit of luck to get into.
Oh, definitely. We've been really lucky with injuries so far.
Especially with a squad like theirs as well, because it's not exactly like brimming with stars, is it? You're looking at a top layer of about 15 quality players, and then that's it. After that, we're at a point now where you're looking at maybe 20 quality footballers. City have got 30. It's just one of those things. But yeah, I mean, I think the main thing other teams will take from this is that they're going to lose one of their shouts about Klopp or Pochettino never winning things.
That is true.
Yeah.
I bet the football world at large, at least the Premier League banter cunts, they must not be happy with this Champions League final because they're about to lose some ammo.
It's almost as if it's not as important to pick up little league cups and FA Cups here and there as long as you get your team to a level where they can compete at the biggest stage.
That is true.
And Liverpool can compete at the biggest stage.
Look at you, United.
We're looking at you directly, Manchester United. No, I mean, Liverpool have been competing on the biggest stage this season, no doubt. I mean, we did last season as well. Tottenham...
It's been a slow build.
I maintain if the World Cup hadn't have happened last summer, Tottenham would have done really well this season. Just gone.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously they've done really well. We're talking about them in the Champions League final, but their squad's knackered. Their squad must be feeling the effects of. Let's be honest, Harry Kane hasn't really stopped playing football since the start of last season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's been just constant. Like, the 3-week break they've had now, they probably had that for England, and then they went into a World Cup. So it's just the same equivalent, isn't it? And then after that, he's got to go to the Nations League as well.
He's coming back from injury as well, so it's not even like it's a proper break, it's rushing someone back.
Yeah. Have you seen he's publicly declared himself fit?
Of course he fucking has.
No pressure on Pochettino at all there to start him.
I would piss myself laughing if he doesn't start him.
I don't think he deserves to start.
I don't think he deserves to start.
I hope he starts him.
I hope he starts him.
I really hope he starts him.
But he doesn't deserve to start.
No. I mean, I've said it on here before now. I think Tottenham are a much better team without Harry Kane. I just do. I think that they flow better. It allows the front four as it is to rotate a bit. Do you know what I mean? You can see a bit of freedom the way Son plays. Harry Kane holds the ball up well. Yeah, sure, fine, fair enough. But at the end of the day, if you are after slick football, Harry Kane's a big fella. He doesn't move around too much. What do you call him, Matt? The fridge?
Fridge. Yeah, big one.
So, it's one of them. It's why Christian Benteke is not at Liverpool anymore.
That is true.
And the fact that he's absolutely garbage.
He is. Riley, why do you have to pick up a squeaky toy?
Because no one's paying attention to him. And
I was stroking him earlier. Come here.
No.
Dumbass.
I mean, do you see Liverpool's bringing any surprises with lineups or anything like that?
Keita's injured, isn't he?
Well, Keita's been out for a while. Firmino's back. Apparently he's fine. I don't think we'll see too big a surprise. I think we'll see the normal front three.
I would expect so.
Yeah, the normal back five with Matip next to Van Dijk.
Do you think he goes Matip? Yeah.
There's rumours about what they've seen in training, isn't it? That he might go with Gomez.
I see.
Really?
Because I mean, this is just speculation based on videos of training. But all the videos that have been released have seen Gomez and Van Dijk on the same team.
Okay.
Like working together. But I also don't see why you would throw him in for the final when Matip has been doing well.
There's so quiet rumour as well that Fabinho might be a doubt.
I saw that earlier, but that's from some...
Yeah, it's from the
from
Raw
someone
chat.
from a Raw chat.
So
like,
it's take it with a pinch of salt, but there's ever so quiet rumour that it might not be fully.
I ain't seen anything on Twitter already.
Exactly. So I don't believe it until I see the lineup. I think.
Yeah, I don't think we see anything too ridiculous in the midfield. I think it'll be Fabinho, Henderson, either Wijnaldum or Milner.
There's no way it's not James Milner.
Yeah. Really?
James Milner, of the 12 games we've played in the Champions League so far, I think James Milner started 11 of them.
That's fair.
So there's a sense of reliability about James Milner that you'll never lose.
I wouldn't mind the Brexit midfield starting. I wouldn't mind at all.
I would. I definitely would.
Come on,
what did we miss last year in that final? A midfield. The midfield just kind of lost it and just fucked off and let Luka Modric run the show. Now, Tottenham haven't got Luka Modric anymore, and they haven't got Toni Kroos next to him either, but what they have got is players who play against us regularly, do you know what I mean, who are getting in amongst us. And if we have the best holding midfielder that isn't available, do you know what I mean?
Of course I want Fabinho to start, but I don't think the midfield is where this game is won.
No,
I think we need to go out and wide. I think it's going to be the fullbacks.
Yeah, I mean, Kieran Trippier is shite, and
Trent's knocked him out of the England squad.
It's bossing it.
There's a point to prove there.
England's hero, Kieran Trippier.
Madness. How the mighty have fallen in less than a year.
It's because he's crap.
He is shit. He's fucking shit. I said this last summer. I said, "There's no way he's better than
It's only Spurs and England fans that rate him."
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been there before. I'm sure we've had that with a couple of players in the past. I think everybody has that.
You shut up. John Flanagan was brilliant.
There you go. I'm still old now for Martin Kelly to end up judging himself. No,
John Joe Shelby for me.
Fucking hell.
Liverpool's future captain. It's happening.
You never know.
New Gerrard.
You never know. I think the main thing we can take away from this, talking about the starting 11, though, is that I don't think any of us would be disappointed with... there's no point where we look at it and go, Jürgen's got that wrong there with the starting 11. It's just like, we just go, yeah,
I think even
that's fine.
If Daniel Sturridge starts, I think I might...
Yeah, but he's not going to do that.
Yeah, no, he's not.
With you know... Unless he comes out of complete left field, then we aren't looking at like massive.
The German season's over, isn't it? Can we recall Grujic and start?
If Simon Mignolet starts in goal, then yeah, all right, Sam. We can be upset about it.
I'm burning down 53 degrees in town, and
he's gonna recall Nathaniel Klein, and we're gonna go into the Champions League final with Simon Mignolet, Nathaniel Klein, Joel Matip, Dejan Lovren, and Alberto Moreno as the back five.
I'll throw your dog. I don't care how expensive he was or how expensive your laptop is. We'll throw him at you.
Oh, fucking hell. No, I mean, if we had to pick a team, it's probably. I mean, we've covered it already, I guess, haven't we? But Alisson in goal, it'll be Trent, some combination of Van Dijk with. I'd expect Gomez or Matip, and then Robbo, the midfield of Fabinho, Henderson, Milner, I think, and then the normal front three.
Yep.
I'd be happy with that.
Everyone's on the bench as well, haven't we?
Well, that's it. We've got a fully fit squad to choose from for once. I mean,
it is nice, isn't it?
Looking at it, other than who's not fit at the moment, I suppose Lallana's never fit. So, but even then,
it's just Naby Keita. It's just Naby Keita.
It's just Naby. So we're looking at Shaqiri, we're looking at Divock, the absolute hero. I'm telling you now, if Divock Origi scores in this final, I will fucking go and get the new shirt with his name on the back. No fucking problem.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Oxlade-Chamberlain play.
Oh, Chamberlain as well.
It would be lovely.
He deserves it after
it would be
lovely.
Last year.
He got us there last year.
They boo him as well, and I like that. They fucking boo
Oh,
this.
they would, yeah.
would.
We need to start. I mean,
I'd be alright with that. I
completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'd be alright from that from a tactical point of view. It's from the soft arse inside me who's just like, but that'd be really harsh on all the lads who've done really well this season. No matter what team you pick, you're going to disappoint somebody.
That is true.
Because, I mean,
Ronaldo's going to be fuming again.
exactly.
Oh,
Gini will be furious if he doesn't start this game. You're looking at Divock Origi. Divock Origi deserves to start this game after what he did against Barcelona, but he's not going to if Bobby's fit, and that's
They're all going to get a medal. They can shut up.
yeah. Never used to be like that though, did it? I mean, I think you start 11.
You had to start, or you had to appear in a certain amount of games. Now you just get a certain amount of medals and you can distribute them however you like.
Which is why John said he got a Champions League medal when he was suspended for the final in Munich that one time. Prick.
Fucking wanker.
Do you know if he has like youngsters on the bench? Do you think there's ever a point in the game where he'd put someone on?
No, I don't think we're in that position where we need to worry about that right now. Purely because if you're picking, there's 12 subs for this as well, which is a massive difference. Obviously, UEFA have allowed 12 subs for this game for fucking some reason.
It's to get everyone together in the Liverpool shirt, so they can run on when we win.
Yeah, I know,
that's what I think.
Yeah, I know, but they could just wear Liverpool shirts. You know what I mean? They don't have to be actual name substitutes. And instead we have...
True, but it means we're on the
subs.
First row, so when they run on, like, they're first.
Okay. Okay, Matt, whatever.
Yeah. I'm a romantic at heart.
It's... No, I mean...
Let me see the good in your wafer, please.
Never. No, I mean, you're looking
really trying.
You're looking at 12 subs. I mean, it's overkill.
How many are we allowed to make?
3. Still
Unless
3.
it goes to extra time.
Still 3. But that's what I mean. Like, we will have youngsters on the bench, but we will hopefully never get to a point, because if Liverpool somehow go a goal down in this game, then the changes will be Wijnaldum will come on straight away. If Liverpool need another goal or need to increase firepower, it's Shaqiri, it's Sturridge, or it's Origi. Hopefully it's not Sturridge. If Liverpool need creativity in midfield, it'll be Adam Lallana or Oxlade-Chamberlain. And there's plenty of options in there. If Liverpool have an injury at the back to Joel Matip, if I'm going to pick somebody, if I'm going to name somebody, I'm going to pick Joel Matip. Then it'll be Joe Gomez or Dejan Lovren coming on. And do you know what I mean? There's quality in there that we would have called upon as starters only 18 months ago. All of them.
But what if we're 7-0 up in the 80th minute? And Klopp wants to give Rafa Camacho a run out.
Alright, fine. Do you know, Ryan Brewster coming on to make his Liverpool debut in the Champions League final would be so fucking classic of... I was going to say classic of Jurgen Klopp, but it would be classic of Jurgen Klopp before you go into a football match. And then he becomes a completely different person for 90 minutes, where he just absolutely fumes on everything. And then he becomes this light-hearted joker again. I mean, I can sympathise with that. I can get behind that. That's exactly how I feel whenever I go to Anfield. Oh, fucking hell.
Be a main stand Mariner one day.
I can't fucking wait.
Leg room, yay!
Yeah, I know. I'm half tempted to call it this season, to be honest. If Liverpool win the Champions League,
I might just retire. It's never going to get better than Barca, to be honest.
No, that's it. That's it, isn't it?
Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's our Olympiacos, that's our Saint Etienne.
Do you know what? There was a point the other day, it's going to sound dead sappy this, but fuck it, Gwed.
Yes.
There was a point the other day where me and Jamie were looking at putting up more pictures in the house, and I picked the one of all of us at the Champions League final.
And
only half of Jamie's face.
Yeah, and half of
Jamie's face. Because
you're
all 6 foot tall and I couldn't standing on
I
a chair.
tried to get you in it. I really did.
He was squishing my face.
I had over like this. I'm dragging her into shot. This is not good radio. I'm dragging her into shot. And I
just be aware that Mikey is currently ragging his girlfriend.
Yeah, everywhere. No, I mean, we were... And Jamie was like, do you want that one kind of thing? And it was like, yes, because I need that sometimes. I need that picture sometimes.
No, what I said was, yes, if we win the final.
If we win the final, that was it. Yes, if we win the final. I'm like, it doesn't matter if Liverpool win the final or not. To me, that picture, obviously it does, and it is the most important thing in the world right now. But
it's not going to change that night.
In terms of that night is exactly why I've spent all this money and all this time keep building up priority and getting to a point where I get Liverpool tickets for big games like that, because it's exactly why I've sat there freezing me bollocks off watching Liverpool play the likes of fucking Bournemouth and Watford and Burnley in the upper main stand. It's exactly why all those years ago I went to watch Brendan Rodgers' side in his first season play against the likes of Hearts and Zenit St. Petersburg, because of those moments where you just look round and that's what this club's all about.
Because you know miracles like that can happen, and to experience it with all your mates.
Yeah.
And for you to console me when I was in absolute bits, I'll never forget.
It will never get better than that, ever. Like, Liverpool could win this. Genuinely, I'm in the stadium this weekend, and if Liverpool win 8-0, it'll be fantastic. But I don't think it would beat Barcelona, because
it was impossible.
Barcelona game was impossible. I went into it with the mindset of we could, but we won't. We could do, but this is Barcelona we're talking about here. This isn't Tottenham. Liverpool could beat Tottenham quite handsomely this weekend, because we are good enough. We're a better team than they are, and it's as simple as that. But at the end of the day, Barcelona, that doesn't happen to Barcelona. It does. Well, it does. It's happened 2 years in a row to Barcelona. But that shouldn't happen to a team as good as Barcelona, and it did. And you look round and all the people that you have fucking watched these shite games. Do you remember how shit Carlisle was? Carlisle in the League Cup.
Oh my god!
When we got off at the end of the game, finished 0-0, was going to extra time, and me and Matt got off and went and watched it in a pub instead, because it was at the end of the Rodgers era, and it was just like, no, I can't be arsed
anymore.
It's
the only time, other than the ticket walkout, that I've left the game early.
Yeah,
and the only time.
It was a comment on just how bad we were becoming at that point. I think it was, oh fucking hell, but Jürgen came in and saved us. Dark days. But yeah, I mean that's why we put up with it all, because at the end of the day we get moments like Barcelona, and every now and then I look at that picture and I'm just like, that was everything in that moment. That Origi goal, I will watch it every single time it appears on my feed, because it's everything, and it's a different type of emotion to Istanbul. Because Istanbul, I was 12 and I was just like, I was convinced Liverpool were the best team in the world at that point, but Barcelona had so much more meaning to it in the fact that we have watched Liverpool be shit for years now. Do you know what I mean? We're now coming out of that period, but we have watched Liverpool be shit, and
we deserve this.
We deserve it.
We deserve it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's the old argument, the old adage, of thick and thin and stuff like that, and other teams would kill for our bad period. Do you know what I mean? You look at teams who
poor Sunderland,
like Leeds. You look at Leeds, who have yet again failed to get promoted back to the Premier League. Leeds were in semi-finals of the Champions League. They had the fucking whole world in front of them, and it was only because their owner overstretched themselves that they just went, yeah, League One probably suits us a bit better. So it's so easy that, you know, we could take it for granted kind of thing. But Liverpool, I genuinely appreciate how bad we were, because it makes me appreciate how good we are now a lot more. And moments like that Barcelona game will just forever just be what football's about. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's what we go to Anfield for.
It's exactly. I will say you need to change your profile picture from it, Mo.
No.
Because you and Kieran have the exact same photo, that photo, which I fucking took.
I had it first.
Whatever. You've both got it. You're both in the group chat. It's really confusing. I can never tell who's talking.
I'll change it Saturday for you.
Alright, fine, you prick.
Me next to... it'll be me next to the Trent banner when that gets made, because I can't fucking wait for that to get made. It's going to be absolutely sick.
Cheers again, Byfield.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. Sorry that Matt had to hassle you like he has, but it's going to look fucking boss. And at the end of the day, if that takes off and it becomes the banner like Jay's was last year, then Luke's got that on his credit for
that
2 years
true.
in a row.
That is
Do you know what I mean? That's impressive. That's an impressive thing to be able to
on his
say.
Portfolio.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's something that anyone could be proud of. So, dare I ask for predictions for this game this weekend, Matt?
Can I?
No, be serious. Be serious.
Well, can I?
I mean, if you want, but if you're serious about it, then why not?
9. No, seriously, 3-0.
Fucking hell.
I think we are.
You are not doing this right at all.
Why?
Liverpool don't win games 3-0 in finals.
This Liverpool will.
No, this Liverpool plays for this. This is still the same side that has put me through the fucking ringer, as far as I'm concerned, for years. This is the same side in my head that went 1-0 down against Arsenal in 2001, and Michael Owen had to score twice in fucking 10 minutes to win the game.
Look,
Liverpool don't win games easily.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be 1-0 for fucking ages.
Fucking hell.
Look, this is just what I'm thinking. Look,
Okay.
we beat Barcelona 4-0.
Yeah.
We went away to Bayern Munich and beat them 3-1. We are dead good. We smashed Porto all over shop.
But you've conveniently left out the group stage in which we got swatted by PSG, Napoli, and Red Star Belgrade.
We're a different team from them. We're a different team from them, aren't we?
No, I know.
We were terrible away in the Champions League group stage. We really, really were. But then we got through the groups. We were brilliant away. Obviously, Barcelona aside. Well,
Barca's different. It was
we were brilliant.
We were brilliant away. We were brilliant away.
Genuinely,
they just scored 3 goals.
In terms of performances,
really, really good goals.
I think in terms of performances, we probably played better in the away. Like genuinely,
maybe
if you can take away the whole romanticism of the winning 4-0, we probably did play better football in the first leg.
Yeah,
it was a lot neater. Everything was a bit crisper. It was like a team properly playing football, whereas Liverpool winning 4-0 was just like these chances are for like there's no goal in there where you're just like fucking hell, that's other than the last one. But there's no goal in there where you're like fucking hell, that's beautiful, that isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The first one comes about because Alba makes a mistake. The second one is a deflected cross from Trent. The third one, all right, fine, good cross in, good header. And then the fourth one, Barcelona just go to sleep. Do you know what I mean? It's no like. It's no Dortmund where the Coutinho one in the far corner or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It was just sheer grit and determination that forced us through.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a difference between the Liverpool in the group stage and the Liverpool in the knockouts. And in the group stage, we didn't have that grit and determination and just forcing it.
Yeah, I think we were just forcing
the game to finish in our favour. After we got through the groups, we became absolute masters at that. Like, Bayern came and defended for their lives for 0-0.
Yeah.
And so we just went away and was like, okay, we're better than you, so we're just going to score more than you, and it's going to be fine. Who cares about us not scoring at home?
A 0-0 draw away from home's not a bad result, remember?
Apparently. Like
hey, 3-0 away from home's not a bad result.
Porto, like everyone was saying, it's a different Porto side, it's a different Liverpool side. We won't smash them like we did last year. Turns out we did. Barcelona, that game at Anfield was just pure forcing it and pure emotion and pure Liverpool believing that they could do it.
Yeah.
Even Klopp didn't believe that they could do it, but he made the players believe that they could. And from that, the fans believed that we could, and then we did. They absolutely forced that, and it's going to happen in the final. I 100% believe it.
I am of the opinion I'm just going to go with the classic 2-1.
Oh, fuck off.
No, I don't think I could do with a 2-1.
I think 7-0. Go on.
No, I think...
Go on.
No. I think they're going to score.
I think they score first. I think they score first. I think they come flying out the traps and they score first.
No, I think the occasion gets to them, but...
I'm fine with the occasion getting to them, but I think that the occasion gets to them. I think the occasion gets to them more if they take the lead early on.
I think it would make sense if they took the lead early on, because then Liverpool do their wake up, we need to, and then just batter them. Whereas if it was the other way round, you just know if, say, Liverpool were 2-0 up and then Spurs got one, you just know they're going to be jammy and get like a second.
I just don't think. I don't think we're going to need that wake up. We've been flawless for like the last 2 months.
Well, not a wake up.
The only hiccup that we've had was when, honestly, us fans kind of caused it against Wolves.
Wolves.
Against Wolves. When we were celebrating Brighton, the players kind of switched off. The players' heads kind of went a little bit, and it took a good 10 minutes to get back under control, and then they asserted the dominance again. But in the last 2 months, we've done nothing but assert our dominance. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna be at a point where we switch off or we're not as up for it as we should be and need a wake-up call like a Spurs goal. I just don't think it happens.
Where did it wrong in terms of wake-up call, but maybe just sort of go, okay, we're going to step into gear. We're just going to finish this game.
I don't think we need anything that's going to make them step up a gear. I think we're going to come out at 10 and stay at 10.
No, I don't think that happens, because I don't think that's game management.
All right, you know what I mean though.
No. Liverpool won't come at this flying out the traps. Liverpool will come at this. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a shot in the first 10 minutes in this game, because I think Liverpool will just come out and they'll keep the ball. Because we both, were you at Tottenham in the league? Yeah. I can't even remember.
All of us were top of the main stage.
Oh yeah. We all appreciated Tottenham played well for most of that game.
That was the start of my lucky straws.
Yeah. Do that again.
Do they have straws? Or are they paper?
I'll find straws.
But I mean that's exactly the kind of that performance is the exact kind of thing Liverpool have to be wary of, because if Tottenham can do that for 90 minutes, and they look goosed at that point, I'm not going to lie, I don't think they can, but if Tottenham can come out and threaten Liverpool early on and keep that pace up, then Tottenham can snatch a goal in this game. And what I see happening in this is a carbon copy of what happened at City in the Champions League last year, where City kind of take one early on, and obviously it'll be Spurs this time around, but I expect Spurs to take the lead at some point in this game. But what I think is Liverpool aren't the team they were last season or the year before, where one goal is just straight away a panic station.
Yeah, we don't wilt.
Yeah, exactly. This is a type of Liverpool who will get older this game and go, okay, that's fine. 0-0 still, lads. And go about it like that, you know what I mean? So I think Liverpool win this game 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable watch for anyone at all. But I don't know. I don't know.
Score the second and third in the 89th and 90th minutes, respectively.
I think Liverpool. I honestly think Liverpool. When you watch this game now, Liverpool will. It will feel like the worst 90 minutes ever, because you'll feel like the world's ending and that, because every time Spurs go near the goal. But when you watch it back, you're like, the fucking hell was I frightened about here? Do you know what I mean? Like, we've had that so many times this season where it's just like that exact thing you said before about how Liverpool go 2-0 up and then Spurs score, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're gonna be jammy and get another goal. That's exactly the attitude we had before we got Virgil van Dijk, where it was just kind of like, it's coming here. It's fucking coming here, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's that exact spirit, and we've seen Liverpool do that for years originally under Rodgers, and even at the start of Jurgen Klopp's reign. Do you know what I mean? You kind of just expected Liverpool to fall away, and we had a habit of doing it. I mean, if you're going back to the Europa League game, Dortmund away. We do score early. Well, I say early on, it's about the 40th minute, but we let Dortmund back into that, and then we let Dortmund run away with it really at Anfield, and it's only because Anfield just went no that we won that game. I say Anfield, me.
I was trying. I had half a flare in my lungs.
Yeah, fucking great day.
Threw up my soul in the lose. Yeah,
but I don't know. I just see Liverpool being a bit more clever than allowing the occasions to get to them. Like you suggested with the 2-2, the 2-1, and then Spurs are going to be jammy kind of thing. And Liverpool are a bit more season than that.
Yeah.
But I still think that there's a point in this where Tottenham can maybe catch Liverpool a little bit off guard. I mean, what I am suggesting there is Tottenham are ready for this in any way, shape or form. This is a team that have very much, like, this is uncharted territory for a lot of them. Liverpool, for the most part, I think, out of the starting 11, who won't have played in last year's final? Alisson, Fabinho. That's it, isn't it?
Salah for the majority of it.
But even then, he's got a point to prove.
That's what I mean. I think he's going to come out being like, "This is the final I should have had," and as long as he's not too selfish and being like, "I'm gonna."
That is my genuine main concern in this game. Like from Liverpool letting themselves down point of view, I think Mo Salah just being like, "This is my time to shine," and just trying to fucking.
I do think he'll score.
Nah, if we don't win, I don't think it's his fault.
I won't blame him. But what I'm saying is, there would be. End of the day, if Liverpool don't win this game, it won't be because of one player. It was last year, admittedly, but it won't be because of one player this year. Last year was a complete and utter fluke, and if it happens again this year, then I'm never watching footy again. It's as simple as that. But there's a point where. And I always go back to it. I always find myself back at this game, but it's the Gerrard against Chelsea scenario. Do you know what I mean? After the slip, and the thing that always done my head in about that game isn't the fact that Gerrard slipped. It's the fact that Gerrard tries to make up for the slip for the rest of the game. And I don't want that to be Mo Salah. Is that he feels like he has to make up for last year?
Yeah, what I said earlier is. When I said that if we lose, I don't think it's Salah's fault. I don't think Salah does that. I think he knows. I think he's had enough time. Obviously, with Gerrard, it was very raw. It was like during the same game, didn't really have the chance to calm himself, collect himself, and start thinking about it logically. Klopp will know that Salah's first instinct will be to try and make up for last season, and he's going to make sure that won't happen.
Let's hope so. Let's really hope so.
I do think Salah scores. I think he also sets up Mane. I think that's just what's going to happen.
I will be having money on Mane first goal scorer, Virgil van Dijk last goal scorer, because I am absolutely convinced.
You just said we concede first.
No, sorry for Liverpool. For Liverpool. Yeah, I think I could see us going behind and then Liverpool just grab hold of it.
Wait, if Salah's last goal scorer, when's Origi scoring?
Salah's not last goal scorer.
No,
Virgil van Dijk is
last
goal scorer.
If Virgil van Dijk's last goal scorer, when's Origi scoring?
He's not. What? Origi lifts the trophy. Oh, fucking hell. No, listen, that is me being very much letting the poetry of the game get hold of me if Virgil van Dijk is the person who scores the winning goal in this, because
that would be beautiful.
It would be.
I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
It'd be symbolic of everything he's done for this Liverpool team, and it's obviously not just him on his own. But at the end of the day,
he was the catalyst.
He's a big part of it, isn't he? He is a big, huge part of it. What has he got in his mouth?
We're all just observing the dog.
Yeah.
Gimme.
Yeah, I mean, I think in an ideal world, it's Virgil van Dijk. I mean, in an ideal world, let's be honest, it's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. It'd be perfect for it to be Chamberlain.
Fluff has died.
Oh no! Don't say that. Riley's favourite toys.
Oh no!
Bit the dust.
He gave me he gave me his favourite toy earlier.
Oh no! Oh no!
And on that note, I
think it's time to end this week's podcast. What we can all take away from this is that is by absolutely no means a bad omen. Fuck it up. I mean, I think all of us come into this game a lot more confident than we were last season. We might have given it a big one last year, but it was still Real Madrid. This year,
I think we're all, when we all give our score predictions last year, I think it was sort of all of us secretly, but wouldn't admit it, being like, Real Madrid could.
I wouldn't mind listening back to what I said last year, to be honest.
Outwardly, I was very confident.
I think we said
Inwardly, I was not.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to lie, if I was confident Liverpool would have won last year, I'd have gone to Kiev. Yeah. I'd have found a way of going to Kiev. Whereas this year I'm going to Madrid because there's absolutely
not a doubt in when you think about it.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
60% of the time. It works every time. No, this will obviously be Liverpool's last game of the season, which means it's our last match preview of the season.
Is the Charity Shield next season?
Yeah, it's the opening game of next season.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Alright.
It's going to be our first trophy on the way to a historic quintuple.
When's the Super Cup then, if Liverpool win?
A couple of weeks after the Community Shield. It's a couple of weeks into the season. Okay. Yeah.
And you know where it is?
Yeah, Turkey.
Istanbul.
Yeah. So this will be our last match preview of the season for Liverpool, because who's asked about a Nations League or anything like that?
Unless Edge wins, I guess.
What we will be doing is we will be having the Story of a Ball Boy quiz, which we had last year, in which Matt famously, I say famously for the 3 people who are still here,
it was really good radio.
It was. Do you know what? One day when this takes off, we will bring that episode back.
Reel.
Yeah, we will bring that episode out of retirement, and we will just be like, listen to this because it was phenomenal. So we're going to be doing that again. Jamie will be hosting once again, and me and Matt will be fighting each other. We will have a special bonus round as well for Kerry, which will be
swatting up.
Which will be very, very much not about football.
It will be.
She's going to try, but she is an idiot. So we'll see.
Fucking hell. Yeah. So I mean, I've already said this at many points this season. I'm listening to that squeaker now, and my heart's just breaking. Yeah, I've already said this at many points this season, but thank you very much for allowing... Well, those of you who do listen to this, thank you very much for allowing us to have a platform to talk about what has been, regardless of Saturday's results, what has been an absolutely fantastic season to be a Liverpool fan.
It's our first full season.
It is our first full season, and it's a season in which Liverpool finish on 97 points, which any other year, except for the last 2, which is the fucking Premier League. Such is life.
We can never not do this.
It does mean that
we have been boss. We have been really.
We have genuinely been really good since we started recording this podcast. We haven't lost at Anfield since we started recording this podcast in the league. Anyway, we lost against Chelsea.
I still think it's since we've had Riley.
It all coincided. It was a good year last year.
It was a good year.
But I mean, it's. Yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic for this season. It's really, as I've definitely said before, it's boss to have every episode covering this season where we can pick out exactly what we were feeling at this time or the other. It's documented now that when we lost our heads and when we didn't.
Yeah, we've talked about me crying a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So, it has been fantastic.
I'm an emotional man.
And regardless of what Liverpool do this weekend, as I've said, it will not take off of what has been a fantastic season.
It has been fucking brilliant.
Yeah. It can
so good.
It can only have. It can only have.
I will never forget this year.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. Because we've had seasons where Liverpool have been good, where Liverpool have threatened to be what they used to be, and this is the first full season where I think we've had some of the original 80s kind of feel about this club, where this club is just better than most other clubs, which is lovely, to be
Kings of Europe,
yeah,
pride of Merseyside.
Fight for no surrender, we'll fight for Shankly's back.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh.
Good boy.
Okay, Riley says bye.
Yeah, so on that note, we will say goodbye.
See you after the final.
See you after the final, up the Reds, and hopefully Jurgen's lads bring home number 6, because we fucking sorely need a trophy for this season.
And we deserve it.
Up the Reds.
Right.
Bye.
See you guys.